What if I promised you that whatever you could see in your mind, you could hold in your hand? You know, if I personally promised that and you were sitting in front of me and I said, I bet you $100,000 that whatever you can see in your mind, you can hold in your hand, under the condition that you follow these precise instructions on how to correctly see it in your mind, to see your desire in your mind. Now, I can say with 100% certainty, and my own life is proof, that when you understand how to do this correctly, which comes down to your imagination. And when people say the word imagination, like, you might think that it's airy-fairy, but the science shows us that your consciousness controls reality down to the subatomic level. We look at this thing and it's a cup and it makes kind of a metal noise. We think it's made out of metal. Really, it's made up of atoms, and those atoms are made up of subatomic particles. And then these subatomic particles are made up of quarks and this and that, whatever. But those things that are smaller than atoms, science has shown us your mind controls them and how they manifest and form. So the proof is there. And then I found in my own life, I was a college dropout. I had like a couple, 2,000 YouTube subscribers when I came across this information. I was trying to become a millionaire author. All the publishing companies denied me and I had to self-publish my book. And then I came across a very, very, very simple, but simple isn't always easy to do because we also have a lot of programming. But it is very simple to apply. 3-step process to correctly use your imagination to see your desire in your mind so you can hold it in your hand. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in 3 easy steps. Okay, now, first things first. So today was Daddy Day. And I have 2 little children. I have 2 girls, and one of them is a 4-year-old, and one of them is almost a 2-year-old. And today was Daddy Day. So I had both of them today, took one of them to school. My younger one and I then played at the park and had a really awesome day. And after I spent the morning and the afternoon with them, I came here so I could to my office and I could get some work done. And while I was with my younger one, it was really funny because we went to my personal favorite park that I like to take my kids to. And on the playground, there's a steering wheel that's installed right next to the slides. Those, you see them at parks a lot, you know what I mean? If you know what I'm talking about, hit the like button on this video or let me know if you got kids. And so on this steering wheel, I always like to pretend that we're driving somewhere. And generally I'll pretend it's a horn and I'll get my kids' attention and I'll pretend I'm steering and I'll be like, come on, get in. And I'll kind of start sparking their imagination that way. And then eventually they want to take the steering wheel, which is what my younger one did. She's a little bit more like me, so she likes to take charge. I don't think she'll be a very good backseat driver when she grows up. So she's like, get out of the way. I'm driving this thing. And so I'm like, where are we going? And she's like, I don't know. And so I gave her cues. I gave her prompts. And there's a point to this story, don't worry. So I gave her prompts because at first she was trying to imagine where we were going in this made-up car. And she said, I don't know. So then I gave her prompts. I'm like, are we going to Fairyland? Are we going to Moana's Island? And I'm just like saying things. And she keeps saying no. So then I say, are we going to Dinosaurville? And she says, yeah, we're going to Dinosaurville. And I say, well, what do we do? So she's driving, she said, but I don't see any dinosaurs. And she's looking out with her eyes open. And of course, there aren't any dinosaurs at the playground in front of us. And so I realize, again, the same word, prompt. She needs a prompt. So then I start doing the prompts for her imagination. And I'm like, whoa, like, do you see that big green Brachiosaurus? And it's eating all those leaves off the tree right there. And I start doing prompts like that. And then she starts getting really into it. And then it makes the prompt for her to get into her imagination, almost like setting an anchor. And then she starts like, the Tyrannosaurus, and it's orange and it's coming over because it wants carrots. And like, she's going like that, like, Dad, give me some more carrots. And I'm like, oh, here, I got some carrots right here. My point is that your imagination is basically the exact same way as any other muscle. If you haven't run a mile in 20 years and I say I'm going to time you while you run a mile, you are going to be so sore after that, right? Like, it's going to be hard because it's a muscle you have to train. Or if you haven't done a push-up in a month or a year, and I tell you to do 100 push-ups in the next 10 minutes, you may be able to complete that task. You may not be able to. But either way, when you max out on those the next day, if you haven't done them in numerous months or years, you're going to be really sore. It's a muscle. Well, your imagination is a muscle too. And your imagination is a muscle that's been totally neglected. 100% neglected. We're told our imagination, like, we're told as if it's derogatory, like, don't be a dreamer, like, you're daydreaming in class. Billy, are you daydreaming again? Like, I was that kid. I got kicked out of junior English class in high school because I would just like sit back and be like, whatever, in La La Land. We're made to believe it's bad. Like, you need to grow up and get rid of your imagination. But the crazy thing is, at the same time, we idolize visionaries. Visionaries like, oh, Steve Jobs, he's a visionary. What is it? It's someone who lives from an inner vision. So first things first, you need to give your imagination prompts, and you need to understand that these prompts will help you start to develop the muscle of your imagination. Just like if you need to start to get stronger on your upper body, you have a prompt, and your prompt is a specific form when you're doing your exercises in the gym, doing them correctly, and then that will help strengthen your muscles quicker if you're doing the form correctly, and that helps you build it. So understand that you can give your mind prompts. Now, for me, the prompt has been always an exterior auditory suggestion. So I created a success hypnosis for myself. When I dropped out of college and I wanted to be a big millionaire author, and like my YouTube channel sucked and no one would listen to it, once I learned all this stuff, I created a success hypnosis that told myself that I was a millionaire author and all these types of things like that. That became my prompt or my anchor. Just like for my daughter, I was her prompt or anchor, just to get her mind going. And I'm like, wow, that Brachiosaurus is eating that old tree, dude. Like, wow, that just, oh man, I would like do like thing like I make fake burps and stuff like that and do it in a different voice, pretending I'm the dinosaur. Those were the prompts that gets her mind going. Well, for me, listening to my success hypnosis was my prompt that could get my imagination to enter my future wishes as if they had already happened. And I turn it on and I listen to it as the prompt. Now, what I invite you to do is I have a free success hypnosis. I give it away for free. Like 1 million people from all over the world have used it. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's free to use. It's pinned as the top comment. So if you go to the comment section right there down below, and by the way, just give me a comment if you're still with me. Say, I'm with you, Jake. I'm with you, Jake. You know, if you've ever went into total La La Land pretending dinosaurs exist with your kids, you can let me know in the comments down below too. It's pretty fun. It's one of my favorite things to do. So pinned as a top comment, or it's in the description of this video. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's free to use. So make sure you get that. And then I'm going to show you exactly how to use the rest of this process. Now, the second step is a question. What would it feel like if? What would it feel like if? And so what I did is I asked myself, like, what would it feel like if my YouTube channel went viral when I had 2,000 subscribers? What would it feel like to shake hands with a book publisher and they're giving me checks and they want to publish my books? What would it feel like to walk into Barnes & Noble and see my books in the book section right next to Wayne Dyer's? My last name is Ducey. Dyer's is obviously alphabetically right next to mine. So mine would have been right next to his if they were in bookstores. So what would that feel like to walk in and see that? So I want you to think about what it is that you desire. Whether it's like, what would it feel like to, as a real estate agent, to sell 2 more houses a month or a year? What would it feel like to attract your soulmate and to have just went on the most amazing romantic date or vacation of your life? What would it feel like to overcome that health miracle? Whatever it is. Whatever it is that you want, then what would it feel like if? So what I did is, while I'm practicing listening to my success hypnosis to practice seeing it in my mind, my desire, what would it feel like? So for me, the YouTube channel going viral was one of the scenarios. What would it feel like? I'd be like, whoa, yeah, oh my God, let's do it, whoa, whoa. Like, getting a viral video is so weird because it's totally unexpected. So it really is, it's like kind of like winning the lottery on like a super minuscule scale. Obviously winning $1 billion, you'd probably be a lot more excited than getting a video that goes viral, but it's the same thing because it's totally unexpected. So what would it feel like if I had a viral video? So then I would replay a scenario that could occur, which is, what would it look like? I'd shake the mouse on the computer screen, I'd hit the refresh button on Safari, and holy cow, I just got 100,000 subscribers overnight, and that video got 90 bajillion views. Oh my God, and I go run to my wife, Ashley, the video went viral, holy cow. And I jump up and, right, it would be like that. Obviously that is a dramatic rendition of it, but that's the point. You want to over dramatize it so that you feel the emotion and you spark new electrical signals in your brain, and that your imagination starts to implant that into new neural networks in your brain. So pick a scenario like that, and then for step number 3 is use the record player technique, or i.e. repetition. Step number 1 is to have your prompt to help you enter it. Step number 2 is, what would it feel like? And then step number 3 is the record player technique. So what would it feel like to have that YouTube channel go viral? Or what would it feel like to be shaking hands with book publishers and they're giving me money and they're like, oh my gosh, this publisher in Germany wants to publish you, Jake, and your books are now next to Wayne Dyer. Well, what I would do is all those different desires I had, whether it was the viral YouTube channel, my books being published, I would practice while I would listen to my success hypnosis, just like I would practice getting stronger or practice a shooting free throws in basketball to be a better free throw shooter. Whatever it is, the same skill for a real material skill, your imagination is developed the same way. And so the record player technique is whatever you decide on that scenario that could happen and the associated feeling, you keep replaying it over and over. So I'd sit there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, listening to my success hypnosis. Remember, I give mine away for free. You can get it for free. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned to the comments and in the description right there down below. Now, then I'd use a record player technique, and over I would replay the same future reality snippet. Shake the computer mouse, channel went viral, holy cow, I'm freaking out, there's all these new subscribers, I'm gonna go run and tell my wife. Redo that again, shake the mouse, over and over, same thing. Do the same thing for walking into the bookstore, seeing my books next to Wayne Dyer's. Record player, same thing, over and over. Now, crazy thing is, my channel went totally viral. Penguin Random House, when I was like 22 or 23, the #1 English publishing company in the world, all of a sudden like gave me a big book deal. My books got put in Barnes & Noble all over America. right next to Wayne Dyer, some bookstores. Like, it literally happened almost to the T. And that's why I said at the beginning that I wasn't BSing you when I said I can promise you that whatever you hold in your mind, whatever you can see in your mind, you can hold in your hand. That happened to me. Like, literally to a T. The books, my last name, Ducey Dyer, they were in the bookstores right next to Wayne Dyer's. The channel went viral, at 2,000 subscribers. I dropped out of college. I was walking with my friend when I finally decided I was going to quit college freshman year, and I'm like, I'm out of here, and I'm going to become a millionaire author. My friend was his name was Tyler Kim. God, good guy. Hi, Tyler, if you're watching this. Love you, dude. And Tyler's like, he was supportive, but he was probably like, whoa, I wonder if Jake's just went crazy. All of those things happened that I saw in my mind, and you can do the same thing. And it brings us all back to tying it together with one simple statement. Suspend your disbelief. You have to suspend your disbelief. You can have your disbelief back. Like, I'm not even asking you to believe me, just try it. Do an experiment, see what happens. So I invite you to get my free success hypnosis right there down below, jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned to the comments and in the description down below. Follow this simple prompt. Find your anchor, use repetition, understand your imagination. It may feel weird. It may be hard at first. Like when I do with my kids, at first, when I had my first kid, it was harder for me to use my imagination. Now I can by the time today, when I was with my younger kid today and we're doing the dinosaur thing, I could see the dinosaurs, dude. Like there was a bronchosaurus. It was eating carrots out of my hand. I could see it. It's a muscle that you develop. And it's the same thing. The first time you sit down to imagine making $100,000 or becoming a millionaire or walking into your dream house or attracting your soulmate or having that health miracle, the first time it may feel hard, your old programming might come up. That's all right. It's the consistency. So you get that, then you ask yourself, what would it feel like? Then you use a record player technique and repetition of that. It doesn't need to be an hour a day, just like 2 minutes. It could be 60 seconds or it could be 10 minutes, but it's the daily repetition of that the next time, tomorrow when you do it, your imagination's working even better. It's even more vivid. And the next time it's even more vivid. And then you're getting up from these visualizations and it felt as real as reality. That's when the switch turns on. And that's when the things start to show up really quick and really fast. A random video goes viral, the unexpected money shows up, the new job, you drop the can of beans at the grocery store, and then some super hot lady, some super attractive dude picks up your beans, and that turns out to be your future soulmate and your husband or your wife, and it just happens out of nowhere. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to show up and wake up, and then everything happens. Because if you can see it clearly in your mind, you will hold it in your hand. So I invite you to give this a try. Comment down below, I suspend my disbelief. Comment down below, I suspend my disbelief. And I'd love to hear your success story and love to feature it in a future video. So let me know in the comments down below some awesome things that come into your life and love to feature in a future video. Let me know what part of the world you're coming from. You give me a flag emoji of what country, city, state. Let me know where in the world you're coming from. I'm in the Southwest of the United States today. Wishing you a beautiful day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, bell notification, get my free success hypnosis down below, and suspend your disbelief. Your mind is more powerful than you think. Whatever you can see in your mind, you can hold in your hand, and you will hold it in your hand quicker and faster than you thought.